Movement at the east entrance into Douala remained paralyzed due to the damaged culvert at Nyala from heavy rains. The Minister of Public Works, Emmanuel Jumesi, has assured road users that the situation is under control and that traffic will be restored Saturday morning. Shops along strategic parts of Boya remain sealed by the Boya Council in the bid to compel business persons to shun ghost towns. The move, traders says, has further worsened the economic malaise of the town. We shall be having an update in this newscast. Those are the top stories. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for joining us. You're watching the English Prime Time on Spectrum Television, coming away from Douala in Cameroon. Public Works Minister Emmanuel Jumesi has assured road users of the National Road Number 3 linking Douala to Yaoundé that works are ongoing to restore the damaged culvert at Nyala, which has caused traffic for some days now. He was speaking while on an evaluation mission that was last evening in the economic capital Douala. Henry Wana reports.
The visit of Public Works Minister at Konjefa in the Yassa neighborhood in Douala, Thursday, July 26, was timely to assess the damages caused as a result of the collapse of the bridge linking the economic capital and Yaoundé, which has greatly paralyzed circulation on the National Road Number 3 in the last 72 hours.
What we see is that a provisional measure has been taken already so that the circulation should continue, the traffic should continue on this space. While waiting for the traffic to start, the construction of the culvert, which got broken, will continue. We believe we will go more faster since we are instructed that they should use the prefabricated elements.
At the affected area, heavy-duty trucks have been in action since the incident occurred, struggling to restore circulation in the area. An incident which has left many road users frustrated, and they continue to ponder how projects are selected for rehabilitation or construction by the concerned ministry. Sincerely, it is pathetic. We are not happy with this situation. This is a project which has been ongoing for the past 1 year. We must not wait till a project is dilapidated before action is taken. It shows that in this country, nothing is well planned. It is hope the actors concerned in this step up their game and salvage the issue of dilapidated culvert, begging for rehabilitation on our national roads.
Now, the collapse of the bridge at Yassa has left road users disappointed as it has triggered a massive traffic jam around the area. It has also provided an opportunity for petty businesses to sprout up. John Paul Sama was at the site and now reports.
Trucks stuck in long queues with no way to advance. Passengers forced to carry their luggages on their head to cross to the other side so as to continue their journey is the ordeal travelers along the National Road Number 3 linking the economic capital to the political capital are temporarily condemned to following the partial collapse of a bridge on that stretch of road. Even motorbikes cannot move through what is left of the bridge. Most people have been forced to sleep in their vehicles throughout the night because of this current situation. Some Cameroonians, like this man, believe that this could have been avoided if the government had not neglected the poor state of this bridge. While these other inhabitants of the area attest that if the bridge has stayed as long as it did, it is thanks to the youth of that area who constantly fill the potholes which were there with gravels. At press time, heavy-duty machineries are currently working to create a temporary deviation where cars can pass before the bridge, which also leads to the Japoma Stadium under construction, is fixed permanently.
His Eminence Christian Cardinal Tumi, the Archbishop Emeritus of the Douala Metropolitan Diocese, is leading a college of religious leaders to convene the Anglophone General Conference built for the 29th and 30th of August 2018. The forum will set the stage for the highly awaited national dialogue. Let's now have an extract of this particular conference.
We hereby convene an Anglophone General Conference to be held in Buea on Wednesday 29th and 30th of August 2018. The Anglophone General Conference will be organized by a broad-based conference organizing committee comprising representatives of traditional and religious authorities, civil society leaders, professional associations, women's and youth groups, trade union organizations, etc. We call upon the government of Cameroon and the various armed groups that now operate throughout the territory of the Northwest and Southwest regions to declare an immediate end to military hostilities in these two regions and thus create favorable conditions for finding a peaceful and lasting solution to the Anglophone problem and to ending the Anglophone crisis in our country through dialogue. We call upon all the people of the Northwest and Southwest regions living at home and abroad to make the sacrifices necessary, even in these difficult circumstances, to attend the Anglophone General Conference massively and thus contribute directly to our collective search for a final, lasting and satisfactory solution to the Anglophone crisis in Cameroon. We request public authorities at local, subdivisional, divisional, regional and national levels, as well as the Friends of Cameroon in the international community, to support our initiative and thus contribute to the success of the Anglophone General Conference as a necessary first step towards a national dialogue on the Anglophone problem.
Now, the Anglophone General Conference built for Buea next month has been likened to a third all-Anglophone conference after similar meetings grouping Cameroonians of the English-speaking regions of the country in the 90s. Darling Frederick revisits the first two all-Anglophone conferences of 1993 and 1994 in this report.
On the 2nd and 3rd of April 1993, over 5,000 delegates from the 13 divisions of the Northwest and Southwest provinces gathered at Mount Mary in Buea for the first all-Anglophone conference. These delegates, amongst them Dr. Foncha, came out with what was known as the Buea Declaration, a document which asked government to review the constitution and make a positive move back to the federal system. A request which was ignored by government, leading to the holding of the All-Anglophone Conference 2 on April 29 and May 1, 1994 in Bamenda, Northwest Province. History holds it that tear gas was used to send attendants off the meeting ground. Many observers say the non-respect and implementation of resolutions of the All-Anglophone Conference 1 and 2 in Buea and Bamenda has plunged Cameroon into the current socio-economic and political instability in the Northwest and Southwest regions since October 2016. In a quest for solutions to end the escalating crisis and the hardship in the two English-speaking regions since the start of the crisis, men of God headed by His Eminence Christian Cardinal Tumi have convened an all-Anglophone conference on the 29th and 30th of August 2018 in Buea. This conference to group all Cameroonian citizens from the Northwest and Southwest regions, home and abroad, will serve as a platform for all to package their worries and demands in a single bag and designate their representatives for an eventual national dialogue. A national dialogue which His Eminence Christian Cardinal Tumi and Co. are calling on President Paul Biya to organize as soon as possible. These men of God have also appealed to the government to create a favorable condition for the participation of all qualified persons at the Anglophone Conference in Buea next month.
Now, some Douala-based political actors have expressed mixed feelings over the convening of the Anglophone General Conference. While some have lauded the initiative, others have rubbished it. Let's have the details with John Paul Sama.
Following the convening of an all-Anglophone General Conference this August 29 and 30th in Buea by some religious outfits in Cameroon as a means to solve the socio-political issues in the country, some politicians in the economic capital have welcomed this idea, saying it is a stitch in time. This is certainly an answer to a problem that we all have been waiting for. We have to highlight the fact that this is not the first time a conference like this is about to take place. But with the current context, it is going to help us advance enormously, and I have to add that it is a prelude to a huge dialogue towards the reconstruction of Cameroon, and each and every Cameroonian should be a part of this. Promoted under the banner of preaching peace and harmony while expecting a massive participation from all, other political elites see this as a waste of time.
Tommy fait preuve soit de sectarisme politique, soit de myopie politique, ou les deux en même temps. Parce que
this conference will serve no purpose because all the targeted people don't have the same problems, as well as interests differ, and it makes no sense because the agenda is not clear.
Entre Philemon Yang et le commerçant de Mouyouka, ils n'ont pas les mêmes intérêts, ils n'ont pas les mêmes préoccupations.
That notwithstanding, the consortium of religious organizations who convened this All-Anglophone General Congress hopes that each and every one should be a participant and propose the way forward for peace to reign in the country.
In a related development, shops in strategic locations in the southwest regional capital, Buea, remain closed due to the sealing of business centers by the mayor of Buea, Patrick Ekema Esunge, early this week. The situation, traders say, have further compounded the economic malaise of the town. Details with Clarice Ekowe.
While some shops in Buea are active with their major daily economic activities unfolding uninterruptedly, as it is the case in places like Clerks Quarters, through Great Support, and in most inner quarters where shops are open, it is a contrary situation in strategic neighborhoods like Moliko, which is considered as a pivot of economic activities in Buea, as it is experiencing slowdown in its economic activities, with most shops still closed this 5th day of the week after several shops were sealed by the mayor of the Buea municipality on Monday, July 23rd, on the backdrop for the respect of Ghost Town. To this effect, business persons in Moliko for 5 days counting have been unable to open their sealed shops as they air out their plights.
If a place like Moliko, that is, I can say that it's a business center that at Moliko, if it is locked, people like us that will fit through our business places, people are really suffering. Having like rubbing oil, many things in Moliko that are just along the roadside.
Well, 5 days today, my business is up because the mayor have locked my store for 5 days today. So now I'm just hanging around with my friends, but I don't have something to do.
Just like business persons, taxi drivers further lament on the huge financial loss and limited passengers to transport as economic activities are yet to effectively resume in the town.
We go out to buy now before we can carry them, but now we have nobody, we have no way that we can carry. So we are really suffering. We are not having passengers. I can tell you, to be honest, the other day I was forced to pack up, but it did not even work because nothing was actually showing.
That store has been locked up, so we feel difficulties to walk. There are no passengers. This backwards, I used to walk about 10,000, but now like this, at the end of the day, I will get about 4,000 or 5,000.
To others, this act by the mayor was described as a miscalculated plan.
To me, I don't even see the reason of sealing these stores, because even a landlord has no right to close your door.
Meanwhile, denizens and business persons in Buea hope that the situation will be resolved.
Region, it is palm oil, a highly sought commodity which has become scarce and expensive. The situation is being blamed on the prevailing violence in that part of the country, which has triggered the mass movement of the population of Widikum, which is one of the major palm oil producing areas. Lovenbe tells us that oil traders from Nigeria are profiting greatly from the malaise. Her report.
The ongoing Anglophone crisis has negatively affected the quantity of palm oil in markets in Bamenda, leading to an increase in the prices. Most of the traders dealing in palm oil buy from Widikum, but ever since the Anglophone crisis hit that part of the northwest region, a majority of the population has been displaced, reducing production, and access to Widikum has equally been a nightmare.
As the road is not passing now, we used to beg the drivers when they go to a call, on coming back, maybe they will see some along the road, they will just buy it and come and supply it to us. The quantity has actually changed because prices now they have actually increased because the demand is too high and then the oil is less.
That people they know they for their houses, so
most of the people in Widikum have been displaced, reducing the supply and explaining the scarcity and the high prices in the market.
We the rain suffer because we no rain no way to where the pass of the country.
We are really suffering and we don't know what is happening in this country again. We can no longer go to buy palm oil like before. At times we go and only earn at Batibo, and even on days that we succeed to enter, we buy at very high prices. Before we could buy 35 liters of palm oil at 14,000, but now we buy at 17,500 francs. The traders are equally lamenting about the fact that palm oil dealers from Nigeria have taken advantage of the crisis and infiltrate Widikum at will to buy the little quantity of palm oil available, reasons why most of the palm oil containers in the shops of these traders in Bamenda are empty.
They will succeed for rich with the fight now with Nigeria for buy.
When we even succeed to get to Widikum, we compete with Nigerians because the supply has really reduced and we buy at very high prices. And when we even succeed to buy at that high prices, we sell cheaper in markets in Bamenda. So we are really suffering.
For the past 2 weeks, Nigeria traders, they enter the bush and they actually reduce the quantity that used to come here.
The fact that supply is low and demand is high, the prices has witnessed a remarkable increase, as a liter that was sold at 500 francs in the past is now being sold at 700 francs. 5 liters has equally witnessed a 500 francs increase, and the price of 20 liters has witnessed a 2,000 francs increase.
From the crisis, the 8th session of the Government Support Program for Competitiveness of Cameroon's Economy (PACOM) has ended in Douala with the validation of the institution's report for the past 4 years. Despite challenges, the program has successfully achieved 88% of its set goals. Henry Wana.
The Government Support Program of Competitiveness of Cameroon Economy (PACOM) under the Ministry of Economy, Planning and Regional Development can today boast of an 88% achievement rate of her project after 4 years.
Many things have been done since the last 4 years. Many things concerning the upgrading of enterprises, concerning the implementation of standard and quality even inside of enterprise, and for concerning the institutional aspect of the national infrastructure of culture. We also have many realizations concerning the business climate.
Officials of the committee carried out the evaluation exercise July 26, 2018 in Douala during their 8th session to comprehend what has been done this far and those projects still pending. Despite the several challenges encountered in the field, the authorities still see a silver line in the dark clouds.
It's not easy knowing that all the dispositif of upgrading is new in Cameroon. We have just started, and even the institution are in the process of building their capacity. So we can say at this level that the objective is really obtained. There are many things to do. You have heard about the new program of European Union. We begin last year, and we will be built on the activities left by PACOM.
PACOM has as objective to ameliorate the quality of products produced in Cameroon to meet international norms, especially those of the small and medium-sized enterprises specialized in industrial and agro-industrial sectors in a bid to improve competitiveness of Cameroon's local economy.
A national popularization campaign to inculcate Commonwealth core values and principles to youth has been launched in the northwest region of the country, an initiative of the minister delegate at the Ministry of External Relations in charge of the Commonwealth. The program is expected to produce values that will promote peaceful coexistence and put an end to violence in the northwest region. Lovenbe.
Youths in the Northwest region have been enjoined to explore the core values and principles of Commonwealth, that is a respect for the rule of law in order to build a better Cameroon, whose people and actions reflect the core values and principles of Commonwealth. This was during a ceremony to officially launch the National Popularization Campaign on the Commonwealth Core Values and Principles, chaired by the Minister Delegate in charge of relations with the Commonwealth, Felix Mbayo. Taking place at a time the Northwest region has been plagued by the socio-political unrest, and with youth being active participants, the choice to host this event in Bamenda was not a coincidence, as the organizers hope to inculcate these Commonwealth core values and principles in the Northwest youth that would go a long way to promote peaceful coexistence, thereby curbing violence. According to Minister Mbayo Felix, the unbeatable quality education in the Northwest region has also influenced the venue of these events.
The Northwest represents a lot of positive factors in terms of the quality and nature of the people, in terms of the values which most of our culture, traditions do respect, in terms of the fact that the educational system, the institutions in this region are amongst the best in the country, and we do hope that when we start here, these institutions would then help the children to imbibe all of these core values we're talking about, the basic core values of the Commonwealth. There are opportunities, and all of these opportunities, be it those created by the government, those availed to them by the Commonwealth, can only be taken if you follow the rules.
One of the youth representatives in the Northwest region is sure that the knowledge acquired shall definitely get to other youths.
After this, there are going to be breakout sessions where young people are going to address various themes to understand around the tolerance, the rule of law, and the respect. And so it's going to be like a push so that when we go back to our different communities, we can continue to share the knowledge and information and skills acquired through the workshop.
The events attended by top personalities in the region held with theme Unity in Diversity, inspiring Cameroonian youths through the Commonwealth core values and principles of the respect for the rule of law.
Douala, a two-day scientific conference grouping young researchers from some African countries, has wrapped up in Douala. It was aimed at looking at ways and means of tackling the problem of food security on the continent. John Paul Sama reports.
Over 104 scientific submissions have been received during the close of the Doctors and Young Researchers Conference at the University of Douala, with 33 rejected for not meeting laid out scientific norms. These propositions, they say, will go a long way to fight food insecurity, as well as propose ways of avoiding common illnesses around us.
Followed according to the outcomes we got from the expose. Yeah, we are working very much and deeply in terms of facing this insecurity, food insecurity in our country and even in our region. That's why most of works, most of outcomes pertain to food quality and food security. Usually, you know, many of diseases originate from food. Recently, we have been talking about cholera. Cholera, you know, is microorganisms contaminating water or some foods. You can have problem, public problem pertaining to foods and the way we are using our foodstuffs. And you know that you have in such a way that you have implication in our health in general and for our well-being in general.
This two-day conference, which held under the theme Food Security and Durable Development in Sub-Saharan Africa, aims at bringing together top researchers from Cameroonian universities and other African countries to look at ways and measures of effectively tackling the cankerworm of food insecurity in this region. The organizers say they will re-strategize for upcoming editions to make this conference an international one, with participants from more European countries coming into play.
And that does it for this edition of the English Prime Time on Spectrum Television, the last for the week. We thank you very much for your kind attention. Take the rendezvous tomorrow, Saturday at 8 p.m. for the weekend bilingual newscast. Veronica Ju will be yours as from Monday. I will be with you some other time. From the entire team and myself, good night. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.